Ladies and gentlemen, what happens when you are on Twitter and you try to be cute or funny or snarky, and then Lindsey Graham says, oh, by the way, we're going to question you in the Senate Judiciary. What happens then? Graham sends ominous tweet to Comey, see you soon. So James Comey, with his philosophical nonsense, meant to mask either his insecurity or the fact that he knows President Trump is closing in on him and his numerous criminal acts. Lying under oath, he stated it was unanimous that it was a unanimous decision among the FBI to exonerate Clinton, who did commit criminal acts. U.S. Code 793F. James Baker, we found out the top FBI legal counsel wanted to indict Clinton. Lisa Page, Peter Strzok's best friend, wanted to indict Clinton. It was not unanimous. James Comey leaked classified memos. So you're talking U.S. Code 18 U.S. Code 371 and 18 U.S. Code 793F. There are other legal statutes that James Comey broke. Perjury, Espionage Act, utilizing a Steele dossier, knowing it's completely unverified. If you trust Andrew McCabe, he allowed McCabe to leak information to the press. James Comey stated he didn't allow McCabe, but this is all. Lindsey Graham is going to question Comey. Lindsey Graham then quotes the tweet, because James Comey is like at these bluffs overlooking the ocean, and he's like, oh, geologic time, whole bunch of nonsense. And then he is like, deep thoughts with James Comey. And then James Comey I don't know where he's at, but these giant like redwoods or these, where is he at? I don't know, these giant trees, okay? And he goes, so many questions. And then Lindsey Graham quotes the tweet, could not agree more, see you soon. He's going to ask Comey questions related to the criminal acts that he committed. James Comey knows this. James Comey knows that President Trump is after his behind. Comey knows that Trump is after him. And he knows that he committed criminal acts. He utilized a dossier that was completely fabricated. The main statutes are the conspiracy statutes and conspiracy statutes, perjury statutes, and leaking Espionage Act statutes. So 3 primary crimes. He lied under oath numerous times. He leaked information. And he conspired against the United States government. This is not even up for debate. Now, the media will say, well, it was above board and it was a wonderful... Well, actually, no, they won't. Democrats actually don't even want to attend classified briefings. This was a monumental political loss. But Lindsey Graham is... I'm not on Twitter because it's a waste of time and nothing good. So let people know. Let everyone know. H.A. Goodman is not on Twitter. Because sometimes I check my name on Twitter. People still talk about me all the time, which is kind of hilarious. By the way, check out my Federalist articles below. And please subscribe to HA2A. Let's get that to 5,000 subs. Episodes will be uploaded Glock 29 10mm, but also I'll be talking about certain subjects I can't talk about on this channel. So you definitely want to, case in point below in the pinned comment, subscribe to HA2A right now. But Twitter is an echo chamber of the left. Graham sends ominous tweet to Comey, see you soon. Nothing good comes from Twitter. So Comey says, oh, so many questions. He's looking up at these tall trees. And he's either trying to be philosophical or he's trying to say, oh, I don't care what the Mueller report says. I helped fabricate through leaked classified memos. I helped fabricate and conspire against the President of the United States of America for 2 years. He got the ball rolling. And now they're going to peel the layers of this overt nonsense. Interestingly enough, really wonderful guy that I was on his channel twice, the Humanist Report. So this always happens with people trying to distance themselves from me, who were previously very friendly towards me, but of course, I'm a Trump supporter and I'm voting for Trump in 2020, and that is such a horrible thing. Great economy, peace between North and South Korea. We can go on forever. But Humanist Report stated that I was the Rachel Maddow of the left. Or no, she's the Rachel Maddow is the H.A. Goodman of MSNBC. And I'm like, no, there are many differences between me and that wonderful lady on MSNBC. One difference is that I only base my claims on fact. I base my claims or my opinions or my views of the future based on fact. Clinton was going to get indicted because she committed crimes. It was a massive cover-up under people like James Comey and Andrew McCabe, who's under criminal investigation, and James Baker, who's under criminal investigation, the FBI top lawyer, who wanted to indict Clinton because she transferred top-secret and special access program intelligence onto servers outside of the United States government. These are all facts. Nobody disputes them. Even James Comey doesn't when he said, well, there's evidence that she broke legal statutes, but no reasonable prosecutor would indict. Rachel Maddow and other people think that, CNN thought that Trump colluded with Russia. Why? Because the Steele dossier said so, and because Clapper and Comey and Brennan believed that he might have, possibly did in an alternate universe. I was stating the Mueller probe was nonsense from the start. Clinton actually did commit crimes, but you can't expect people on the left to go too hard on a Madam Secretary, because that would be aligning themselves with conservatives. And there's an aversion to go too hard at Clinton. So that's why a lot of people say, well, vote for Clinton in swing states. Anyway, the point is, I'm not on Twitter. There's nothing good that comes from Twitter, and people still talk about me on Twitter, which is hilarious. But the Mueller probe, the Russian hacking nonsense, the Trump-Russia collusion nonsense, I was speaking out against it from day one. Almost every segment, I said it would lead to nothing. It was completely fabricated. It was linked to Clinton's, to the Steele dossier and CrowdStrike, to two pieces of what they considered evidence that were purchased by Clinton and the Democratic Party. It was an illegal probe. It should never have been. It should never have begun, and it was started by James Comey illegally leaking classified memos, discussions with President Trump. And Clinton should have recommended indictments for Hillary. We now find out that there was, that's another hilarious thing. People on the left they never wanted to talk about Clinton getting indicted because it was too close to home. At the end of the day, they feel that some kind of loyalty to Clinton, for some reason. They just didn't want to go too hard. That's why when I was on the left and I was saying Clinton was going to get indicted, it's because she actually committed crimes. And James Baker and Lisa Page agreed. The FBI agreed. It was an actual cover-up. With Trump, there was no cover-up. He didn't work with Putin to buy Facebook ads or hack the DNC. CrowdStrike is the only entity to say that Russia hacked the DNC, and the United States government never confirmed this. But that's what Lindsey Graham's going to find out. Lindsey Graham at the Senate Judiciary is going to be one of the people who makes a name for themselves. Now Republicans are kind of enjoying the vindication that Trump is experiencing as they sat on the sidelines and enabled Democrats to continually torment Trump for 2 years and harass Trump voters. All of this was fabricated. All of this is yet another election defeat. It's actually even better. By the way, Clinton's running again. She's just waiting. Don't think that she's not running again. She's running again. But Lindsey Graham, let's just read this. Senator Lindsey Graham posted an ominous reply to ex-FBI Director James Comey on Twitter Sunday after Comey seemed to sum up the summary of Special Counsel Robert Mueller investigation by posting a picture of a man who appeared to be lost in the woods. This is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. The photo posted by Comey was of a man surrounded by tall trees, and the caption simply was, "So many questions." Graham, the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, replied, "Could not agree more. An obvious message that he hopes to question the former FBI head." Comey's tweet followed Attorney General William Barr's announcement that Mueller did not find evidence that Trump's campaign conspired or coordinated with Russia to influence the 2016 presidential election, but reached no collusion. Well, actually, they did reach a conclusion. Regardless, he's exonerated of obstruction. But there you go with the obstruction issue. Firing Comey was not obstruction of justice. It was an illegal probe to begin with. And firing Comey is something President Obama should have done. But anyway, Trump and his team celebrated the outcome, but also laid bare his resentment after 2 years of investigation that have shadowed his administration. Quote, "It's a shame that our country has had to go through this. To be honest, it's a shame that your president has had to go through this." It's true. It's true. Despite Trump's claim of total exoneration, Mueller did not draw a conclusion one way or another on whether he sought to stifle the Russia investigation through his actions, including firing FBI Director James Comey. How would firing, by the way, how would firing James Comey be obstruction of justice? It's within his right to do so under the Constitution. Without our Constitution, the United States is nothing. It's like the Torah for the Jewish people, okay? Or the Bible for Christians, or the Quran for Muslims, or any or the Constitution for other countries, I guess. But the United States Constitution is what makes us who we are. It's within his right. It was within his right to fire James Comey. He had every right to do so, and he didn't. He didn't obstruct an illegal probe. And even if, let's say, you think the investigation was legal, he fired James Comey because Comey was insubordinate, which is what the IG report under Michael Horowitz stated numerous times. He had no right to become the DOJ, to pretend he was Loretta Lynch, to pretend he was the Attorney General. He had absolutely no right to say that, well, Clinton shouldn't have been indicted because no reasonable prosecutor would indict, even though there was evidence of legal statute violations. So there you go. There you go. There can't be obstruction of justice if he was within his right, within the United States Constitution, to fire anyone within the executive branch, which is Mueller is within the executive branch. So the obstruction of justice case is interesting too, because they start an illegal probe and then try to get Trump on a process crime. They start a probe based on Clinton's dossier. The Steele dossier it should be called the Clinton dossier. And then they say, well, you know, he tried to obstruct it. Well, but you had Andrew McCabe afterwards. Comey apparently wasn't doing any work. Because when you ask him, he's like, well, you know, there were other people. It's not my fault. So, I mean, the whole thing is hilarious. The Hill reached out to the Graham for clarification of his tweet, and his office referred to the website to a letter from Graham to the Attorney General about investigating a FISA surveillance warrant against Carter Page, a former campaign advisor to then candidate Trump. They used a dossier full of nonsense. Full of absolute nonsense. To investigate the president. And of course, you're going to have investigations pertaining to why they used a compilation of gossip and nonsense to investigate another American citizen, in this case, a political rival. They went after their political rivals, utilizing the FBI and the intelligence community that Democrats apparently don't revere anymore. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you so very much. Subscribe to HA2A. It's below. Check out my writing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Tell your friends about this channel. Everything that I've been saying is being vindicated. I use public record resources. I use public record data. And the public record shows that Trump was set up. Her crimes were covered up. And that the pendulum has swung. And just like James Brown, the big payback is coming. Trump is on to all of these people. If you think I obsess over this stuff, just imagine Trump. It's like probably 1,000 times any obsession I have. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe.